Welcome to Brazil. Round number 2 here. We're looking at practice right now. Welcome back. Grand Prix 4. Second race of the 1998 season here in Brazil. Let's see if we can find a car out on a lap. A couple cars coming out of the pits. Here's David Coulthard. This should be fun. It is dry right now, so we'll see how long that lasts for. I feel like rain is so common in Brazil. I hope you're doing well out there. So I guess the second edition of my self-dubbed Throwback Thursday. Last week did some Grand Prix 2. Now we're back for round number 2 of the 1998 Formula 1 season. I had a pretty crazy race, the first one out with Australia. We're driving for Benetton with our little driver, Royce Axelson. And I think it was a pretty fun season opener. Very difficult, though. And hoping I'm a little more competitive here today. We'll see. But let me pull up, while we're here, we'll pull up the points and all that stuff. Yeah, so we're in round number 2 here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Last time out, Mika Hakkinen with McLaren was the winner, as they did in real life, as they also did at Brazil here. So we'll have to see if we break the historical trend. But McLaren looking every bit as dominant as they were in the real thing. But here for round number 2 at Brazil, out of the 16 that we're going to be racing this season. Yeah, should be good. Brazil's always a lot of fun. I always like Brazil a lot as a racetrack. We'll take a quick look at the points. Of course, just one round thus far to look at, so nothing too crazy on the points board yet. But Mika Hakkinen getting the 10 points for first place in the first round. Michael Schumacher came away with second. Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the Williams was in third position. Does it say 2026? Ha! Well, ignore that for now. I'll fix that later. I suppose I could fix it right now. Ha! You gotta love it. If I don't do it now, I'll just forget. There we go. How's that? Hope that fixes any of your concern. We are in the correct year. All right, but points-wise, yeah. 1998 Formula 1, I had it right over here. Standings. But yeah, Heinz-Harald Frentzen gets a third place for the Williams. Johnny Herbert up there with 3 points. Ralf Schumacher, who I dueled with at Melbourne, got the 2 points there, and I did happen to get 1 point, but it wasn't easy. Might have been able to get 2 points out at Melbourne, but I feel like I just wasn't any quicker than that. My teammate was up for a podium for a little bit, Giancarlo Fisichella, but he had some mechanical failures. I had mechanical failures as well, but I was able to pit and get the car fixed. The crew miraculously fixing the oil leak and things. So looking at the team standings, McLaren, Mercedes, up front, Ferrari. We actually had 6 different teams score, so it's exactly the same as the driver standings. But I have a feeling that'll change today. Williams, Mecha Chrome with 4. Sauber with 3 points. I did also add the Mugen for the Jordan here for the 2 points they got with Ralf Schumacher. And then Benetton, Play Life, not Renault. We're in 6th place with 1 point. We definitely got to score more than just the 1 point out here today to, I don't know, do something in this championship. I'm hoping we can get some podiums at some point. I think a win is going to be tricky unless things go my way at a race, but you never really know in this game. There's so much stuff that could happen, and yeah, you just have to be there to capitalize on it. All right, let me go out. We're in practice right now. I'm not going to do too much of this. We'll jump straight to qualifying, but let me just go do a couple laps real quick, make sure things are feeling good. I've been trying to get the gearing correct in this. It's so difficult. I think it's just the way the downforce is. I'm not able to really break into the upper range of the 6th gear. If I change the gear ratios to hit it, I'll top out way too early. It feels very sensitive, so. Switch to this. Clear. There we go. But yeah, wonderful track. It's Brazil, I guess, as you know it. It hasn't changed a terrible amount over the years, but that's for good reason. I think it's a great circuit. And yeah, I'm very curious to see if this ends up being a dry race. It rains pretty frequently in Brazil in this game. And if we have an all dry weekend, it'll be quite lucky. I did turn on the weather and everything. I know at Melbourne I forced it to be a dry race just to cut down on some of the variables for the first stream for this. But we're on full random now, or weighted random. So it's going to be pretty accurate to whatever that given location, you know, would have typically. Yeah, I'm topping out too early here. I need to maybe give it one more little notch for gear. I didn't look up what Brazil's rain chance is, but I think it's pretty high compared to some of the other tracks. Yeah, and I saw in the chat, I am using CSM with, this is the Hego 1998 mod. I've done a few tweaks to it for myself, though. But I think I have a link in the description of the stream to the mod and everything. It's a great mod. It's quite bumpy in this version, this track. It's got a lot of bumps and stuff. Yeah, this is basically the stock track, just with a few texture changes and stuff that I did. Garages and all that, just to make it fit 98. That's basically what I'm going to be doing for the whole season. I'm going to use mostly the default tracks, except where they don't fit the layout for 98, or like Buenos Aires didn't exist. How did I make Royce's helmet? It's I just redid the texture for it, so I redid the helmet texture for this car. All right, we're gonna come in the pits here. The pit entrance, or the pit exit specifically, is weird with the auto control that's in GP4. Yeah, the only full track that's not in the game is Argentina. However, the layouts of a few tracks aren't correct. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. Really, when I get to it, like for Monza, we'll see what the versions of Monza look like that have the correct chicanes. And if they're good, then we'll use them. If it feels like the race wouldn't be good, maybe I'll use the original one. Well, welcome, Tom. All right. Let me just look at what my gear ratios are at. Yeah, I'll bump them up 1. Thing is, it's tough to balance with the fuel as well. Once we have full fuel, or full-ish fuel, the gearing will probably be long enough. But all right. Oh, Swiss Mizzy, thank you. Thank you for the donation there. That's really nice. It's been really nice to see how many folks have enjoyed the GP4 stuff. The first race seemed like a lot of people enjoyed it. It's hopefully this one's just as entertaining. I feel like I'm always worried this game's just not going to work for me, or we'll hit some sort of game-breaking bug or something. But we'll just deal with it. If we do, I might redo a race or something. Who knows? Trying to keep it pretty fast and loose here. All right, so we're going to jump into qualifying. Oh, it's a little wet at the start, but it looks like it's going to be dry for the rest of it. So we might have a little bit of a wet road, and then it'll dry up. This will be an interesting qualifying. Might be good to go out and just get a quick practice lap with the rain. Ooh, it is quite wet. Interesting. I'd be nervous to just fast forward through the whole session in case it never really dries out, and maybe this is the best the track gets. So I think maybe we'll go out and do a lap. I'll put some wet softs. We're definitely going to do the 2-stopper today. Don't worry. Looking back, it's so easy to retroactively say what you should have done strategy-wise. I think it would have been better to do the 2-stop at Melbourne, but I did what I did there. But I think I'm definitely going to do the 2-stop here today. I'm going to go out in the wet. Maybe a mistake to use one of my runs here. I've linked to a couple tutorials and things about how to install this game. I feel like they do a better job than I could. We'll put it on the soft, wet tires, though. All right, coming out behind a Minardi here. It is not raining anymore, though. Oh, actually, it might be. Yeah, it actually is raining still in the game. Yeah, all of this has like auto control in the pit lane. It's a bit weird. All right. Hey, Tim. I need to get around this Minardi. I did do some practicing in the wet, and I felt fairly competitive. Really depends if I can keep it on the road, that is. All right, we'll try to get a wet lap in here. Get a run in these conditions at least. Let me know how the audio is too. You should be able to hear me. Missed the first turn just a little bit there. Oh, I feel so slow. The one thing I'm a little worried about is if it's wet during the race, it's just going to be such a long race. It really slows the pace down quite a lot. I think we can do 117s in the dry in qualifying anyway. We'll see what this lap is, but it's going to be quite a fair deal slower. So 126, 10 seconds slower than in the dry. Provisional second row, the crew's already celebrating. They don't know. Try one more lap here. I'll push a little bit more. Whoa, almost lost it there. All right, this I think will be a little bit better. We don't know what the race weather is going to be yet. All right, yeah, I was 2/10 better, but sitting P6 right now. We'll do an in-lap here. I suppose we just got to watch the track conditions and see if it dries up at all. And I might try inters if it doesn't change much from this. But certainly if it starts drying up. We have 54 minutes to go. There's quite a lot of session left. And we got like 2 more runs we can do. It's still, I don't think you can see it on the stream probably, but it's still raining. Like I'm seeing raindrops coming down still, so it's getting worse right now. But it looks so sunny out, so I'm interested to see once it, if it's going to actually stop like the weather predictor said. It's just me flat out right now. It breaks you so early for this. Whoa. Man, it almost hit me into the wall. Well, if you think this version of Interlagos is cool, you should look at the original one from the 70s. It was a very neat circuit. Yeah, with the bit rate, it's hard to see the raindrops, but they are coming down. All right, everybody's going out and doing their runs and stuff. I'll fast forward the time a little bit here, and we can see how things progress. Yeah, we have time to do 2 more runs essentially. Damon Hill is on provisional pole right now. The Jordan. Let's fast forward a little bit. All right, that was 10 minutes. Goes by fast. Here's old Damon himself. It's looking still like it's pretty wet out there. He's got a cloud of mist around him. It's still raining too. I'm feeling a little bit better, thanks. I still got this little cough, so I'll try to hop on the mute switch when I can. The fog thing is really bizarre. So Michael Schumacher's on the pole, provisional pole right now. I'm sitting in 13th position. I feel like it's still very wet. I'm going to see if it clears up at all. We got plenty of time to do 2 more runs. All right, that was another 10 minutes. It is still wet out there. All right, well, we'll try a run on inters then. Just to see how that is. I'm down to 15th. I got to definitely pick up something. If I toggle between the cockpit cam and T-cam, the cloud would go. Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't ever really seen the mist like that. Yeah, the weather predictions are weird in this. I feel like they are fairly inaccurate. It's like not rainy looking out, but it's still coming down. There's still raindrops visibly falling in front of me. One car coming up the right side here. Of course, he's gonna brake and ruin his lap anyway. All right. They don't like to pass you sometimes. I think it's Schumacher. There he goes. He's probably going to complain about it. Oh, I did get a comment on the last stream about the tires and why don't I have tire graphics on so that you could see like Bridgestone going around. In '98, the Bridgestones didn't have any stickers on the inside to tell you the brand. I think they added them for '99, but yeah, it almost looks like there's no tire movement because there's no sticker, you know, spinning. But it's that's how they were in 1998. All right. Schumacher was on an in-lap anyway. Let's hope we can get a slightly better time. I'm down at 16th right now. It's very bad. Launched it into turn 1 there a little too hard. Oh yeah, 3/10 already in the first sector. Being on the right tires for the amount of rain in this game is really key. There's 4 different wet tires, so it's tough to know which ones to be on. All right, P5. Try one more lap here. That's much better. Whoa, up on the curbing there. Can spin you out if you're not careful. Little wag of the rear end. I'm not sure this is a better lap thus far. I'm right on it. Just a couple hundredths off. I'll run it to the finish. Wow, I didn't improve there. Dang, I wasted a lap. All right, we'll come to the pits. Before I bin the car. I guess I have to see if the grip improves at all. I think it might actually be done raining now, so we've got 25 minutes left in the session. We might wait till about 5 minutes to go and then go out and see if the track's improved at all. It doesn't look too wet at the moment, so hopefully it's a hot day here in Sao Paulo and the tarmac dries out quickly. All right. I've slipped back to 6th now. Much better than 16th, though. All right. So Coulthard's on the provisional pole right now. I am behind my teammate by almost a second. It's not quite good. But yeah, I think it just makes sense to wait until there's about 5-6 minutes to go in the session. Hopefully the track is improved to the point where we think we can put dries on it and go out and do another lap. But let's accelerate the time a little bit. I'll stop it here. Let's take a quick peek at cars out there. There's nobody out on the track right now. Schumacher did a 120.7. I think I got to try it, right? I wonder if everybody used all their laps? Is this an unfair advantage? I'm going to go a couple more minutes. I mean, that is much slow. I know I can go faster than 120.7. But I think everybody used their laps. The track looks like it's drier now. I think what happened is every car used all 12 laps and it's now dry. I might have a massive advantage here. Is this cheating? We'll see how dry it is. I mean, it's definitely drier than it was. You get like the little dots and stuff. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky, but if I can improve, look at, there's a dry line here. I mean, it's how Schumacher was able to do on 120. It's strategy. I wonder why they all used their laps so quickly. there's a lot more grip than there was earlier. I think I could potentially get this on pole. I don't want to start celebrating too yet. I've got 2 laps to do it. We'll do one here, kind of pushing, just to see if I can improve a little bit. I'm sitting P9 right now, so quite far down. All right, we'll start a time lap though. The eyes of the Grand Prix world on young Royce here. There's nobody else on track. It feels almost dry. This is going to be massively quicker than my last lap. If I can keep it. Ooh. Okay, not doing that. See, I'm starting to celebrate too soon. I got to actually do it. Oh my God, I almost lost it there too. All right. There's a couple of big catches in the middle there, which definitely slowed me down. We'll see where this is. P6. It's 1.7 seconds better. This is my final lap I can do. Just got to keep it on the dry line here. A little easy to this right-hander. It's a high commit corner in the dry. All right, mostly smooth there. Just trying to be ultra smooth. This is definitely gonna be quicker than my last one. Come to the line. Oh, P2. Oh. Dang, I really thought that was gonna be pole. The Michael got it. I thought that was going to be good enough for it. Here I was thinking I was cheating. Well, we're going to be on the front row for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the second round of our driver's career. Was it a thousandth of a second? We'll take a look at the qualifying results and everything in a minute. I could have given it a little more. I took it kind of easy in the middle because if you get offline here in the wet with the dry tires, it's a little slidey. All right. Well, that ends the session. Kind of a weird one with the way the weather was. But a front row start, that's going to be huge for the race. Bodes well for it. Hopefully that means we can get away without any sort of crazy incidents off the line. second.
2 minutes remaining.
All right. Schumacher's lap was a 20.7. Mine was a 20.733. Dang, so close. Oh my God, it was 0.003 of a second. That is crazy. So close. There it is. Let's look at the results to qualifying here in Brazil. Michael Schumacher with a 1 minute 20.729. Royce Axelson, our Benetton driver, with a 1 minute 20.733. 0.004 of a second. So close. Heinz Harald Frentzen in the Williams is going to be in third, ahead of David Coulthard in the McLaren in fourth. Where is Mika? There he is. Jacques Villeneuve in the second, Williams in fifth, and Johnny Herbert sneaks up there in sixth position. I should have taken a little less fuel. You're right. I'll learn over time. So Hakkinen in seventh, ahead of Fisichella, my teammate in eighth place. Wow, really out-qualifying Fizzy. Olivier Panis in ninth, Eddie Irvine in 10th, who I came together with on the first lap of the Australian Grand Prix. If all things go to plan, I shouldn't be seeing him during this one. Rubens Barrichello back in 11th, ahead of Damon Hill. Jan Magnussen in 13th, with Jean Alesi in 14th, ahead of Ralf Schumacher. Wow, the grid's pretty mixed up for this one, but back in 15th. Shinji Nakano in 16th, ahead of Mika Salo. Pedro Denise in the second of the arrows there. Tora Takagi in 19th, ahead of Jarno Trulli, Esteban Tuero, and Ricardo Rosset back in 22nd. What a qualifying. All right, let me just quickly save the race here. I think I figured out the auto saves so that we can watch highlights after the race. Hopefully, we'll see. I can't claim to know everything about it. This is going to be interesting to see what the weather does for the race itself. Well, we'll look at the pre-race. Pre-race, I believe this relates to the race weather, but there's nothing right now, but there might be some rain later. Dang. All right, I'm going to hop away for just a second. I'm just going to check the setup and stuff, and then we'll get started with the race and all that, but I'll see you all in a minute. All right, just get a little water here. This is gonna be wild, especially if it transitions from wet to dry. I think my setup's good. It's tough to tell in the qualifying there because it was wet and everything, but with heavier fuel, I think it'll be all right. All right, let's leave the pre-race warm-up and jump into the race. So here's our grid. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again because we just did, but we're doing 72 laps today around Interlagos. It's a long race, and we're going to be doing a two-stopper, trying to, but Michael Schumacher is going to start on the pole. I think he's on the right side of the grid, if I'm not mistaken, and our driver will be on the inside. So I have a fair opportunity, depending on how the start goes, to battle with Schumacher off the line, but we'll have to see. Heinz-Harald Frentzen, David Coulthard behind us. Certainly want to keep them behind if we can. Jacques Villeneuve and Johnny Herbert on row 3, row 4 with Mika Hakkinen, and my teammate Giancarlo Fisichella. And then Olivier Panis and Eddie Irvine back in row number 10, or row 5. Look through the rest of the grid here. Pretty predictable final couple of rows of the grid, I guess. Truly is quite far back. I think Truly started up decently high in Melbourne. I almost said Adelaide. All right, and then we get a chance to look at the weather. Oh boy. All right, so it is slated to rain. I think is that 120 minutes? 30s. I want to say we might actually have a dry race because I think that rain might be too far into it. But if anything, it's going to rain right at the end. So definitely going to start on dries, and we'll just proceed like it's dry, but we could get a nasty little wet weather surprise right at the end. What is this glitched menu? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, this is just how the game is if you run it in ultra-wide these days. But yeah, we're going to go for a 2-stop, which means we got to make it to lap 24 or so. That's when the crew will call us in, and then we would pit again on lap 48. We get to run a little bit lighter fuel and everything. So should be good. I'm excited for this. I hope the start of this race is a little cleaner than it was at Melbourne. And who knows what the end of the race is going to do. We'll just have to keep our eyes on the clouds. And if anything, maybe throw on some intermediates at the end. But we'll have to do it as it comes. That's the exciting part about this. I don't think the track is wet. But we're going to start on dries. How do I tell if the track is wet? I don't think it is. But yeah. Hopefully we can get away good off the start. We'll see how we can do against Schumacher, and then yeah, just try to make it to the end most of all. More points would be good. Oh no, it is so wet. What did the Benetton team do here? It's raining. What is with the weather forecast? That makes no sense. Oh boy, I don't know about this. All right, lights are lit. I can see him off to the right here. Why? Am I completely dumb? Looks like the McLaren there is on dries as well. Oh, we're going with dries. Let's say the race engineer thinks he knows best. All right, the track isn't so bad over here. It's just got spots where it's really wet, like here. Here comes the McLaren up the inside. He's on dry tires as well. Wow, really lost out to the front two there. I think Frentzen's looking up the inside. Why was it wet? It looked like it was supposed to be dry for the first half of the race. I guess we can say on the formation lap, the clouds opened up a bit. Some of the teams took wet tires, others didn't. I'm not completely losing out here. I mean, the front two have wet tires on. That's why they're so fast. Big slide there out of me. All right, Schumacher gets the first lap. I'm in P4. Here comes Jacques Villeneuve up the inside. He's on dry tires too. How are these guys able to go so much faster than me on dries? Almost spun out there. We got a Sauber behind me. I think the track's going to dry out a bit here. The Sauber on the inside there. forces me out wide. I'm falling back though. Here comes the other McLaren up the inside as well. Oh no. Ooh. Kept it on the road somehow there. Got on the paint on the curbing there. Come on. This is ridiculous. I think it's going to dry out. And a couple of the cars in front of me have dry tires on, but I know the 2 leaders don't, so we could be at a pretty good advantage if it continues to dry out a bit here. Coulthard's flying, so it's hacking in behind me. All right, this is almost like my qualifying condition now. There's a Ferrari up the inside. I said we weren't going to see Irvine today, but I guess that was wrong. Ah, they're so much faster than me on this condition. Almost repeat last lap here. Come on. If you're going to do it, do it. All right, my teammate, I'm still ahead of him, but he's caught up to me now. So the second position on the grid didn't amount to much. Did Rubens go in the pits? I didn't even see it. Here comes Giancarlo. He's on dries as well. This is very frustrating. I think it's gonna get better, but it's already so dry over here. Finally go through here without getting past at the same time. All right, I'm able to stick to the back of these guys right now. Ooh. They stuttered there or something. Come on, GP4. All right, back up the inside of Fisichella. I wonder if I have a little bit more downforce. Well, I did some testing. Here comes Fisichella up the inside. I did some testing in the full wet and was pretty competitive with him, but it's maybe this transition stuff. I don't know. I feel like I've got no pace right now. All right, long ways to go. Hopefully this continues to improve. Oh, Denise is out. It's the first of, I think that's our first DNF. Wow, almost lost it there. It's so tricky. It's so slick. It's quite different on different spots of the track too. Like right there, that's fine. And then you get into this more wet stuff and it's so slippery. All right, I'm doing a 124 flat there. Yeah, this almost feels normal. But we're sitting in P9 right now. This is not good. Barely holding on to that. Rear end wants to come around. It's going to get harder if the tires start wearing out too. The dry line is forming. We can see it. It's just happening a bit slower than I'd like it. It is still kind of sprinkling with rain too. But the dry line's been forming despite that. All right, it's a 122.6. A little wide there, come on. This whole middle section still is so wet. There's a whole bunch of cars in front. I don't know if we're closing up on them or what. Feels like the pack is quite tight still up here. So I've got a Sauber now behind me. Would that be a Lacey? On 21.5. I'm getting better every lap. Center section of the track I am just tiptoeing. All right, it's not raining at all anymore. It's gonna dry up. I hope the pace increases relative to the others. I feel like I'm on the back foot still. A long ways to go though. We're not even at the first pit stop. A lot can happen here. But yeah, pretty miserable start to the race with the, I mean, it looks like half the grid took dry tires, the other half didn't. But I'm not able to keep up with anybody in that type of condition. Getting a little bit better through here. Come on, everybody. Let's work it in. All right, I think I got Herbert in front of me now. Yeah, track is really improving now. I think I'm cross our fingers here, but I feel like it might be flipping now for me. Oh, come on. Park it on the apex. Well, I've got two Jordans behind me now. Where did the Sauber go? I lost a lot of time there. They're doing 118.2s. This is not good. Oh, there goes a Lacey. All right. Jordan looking up the right side. Oh, he's just going to motor around me. Oh, yellow flags. It might be for that Sauber. Yeah, I can see him over near the fence there. Thanks, bud. The flag just standing right on the edge of the track. So that's Damon Hill that got in front of me there. I got Schumacher behind me, Ralph. This is such a struggle race thus far. If you're just tuning in, we had a moment in qualifying where it seemed like this might be a good weekend for me. Got up to P2, narrowly missed out on the pole, and then we had a mixed condition start here. Oh, and I just get on the dirt. Come on, keep it moving. Just get in the wet there. Well, that's the worst thing I could have done. So I think the track, as I say, the track's starting to improve, but I just made two mistakes back to back on two different laps. Only lost one spot there to Ralph. There's a big gap behind him. That might be where we're going to settle into for a while. Whoa. All right, I'll just focus in on my lap times, see what I can get down to safely here, and hopefully this starts coming my way a little bit. We're 6.5 seconds off Ralph. We got Panis behind me, all the way from the rear of the grid. He's having a good start. At least somebody is. Finally basically dry through here, even though I spun last lap. Just got to stay on the dry line. I'll be honest, I don't have a ton of experience doing this in this game, so you're seeing, I guess, Royce the rookie through me. Hacking it into the 117s. That's about where I can be in a qualifying lap in the dry, so this will be probably my best lap of the race so far, though. I think the whole track is dry as long as you stay on the line now. 119 flat. We were 6.5 off of Ralph last lap. Let's see what it is now, 6.4. All right, that's going to be quite the slog, but we'll try pull him in. Keep it really tight there, that more than I would like. Here too. It's 118.7. All right, pulled in quite a lot on Ralph that lap. Definitely quicker than him. I can see him turning into the corner down there. Just put myself at a big disadvantage, but rookie mistakes, I suppose. Got about 11 laps till the pits. 10 or 11 laps till I take a pit stop. Be interested to see what the other cars are on for strategy. The two front runners, Schumacher, who was that? Schumacher and Frentzen, that had wet weather tires on at the start. They're going to be thinking about getting off those here any second. I don't think we've seen Michael in the pits yet. But Coulthard up front was on dries, and he'll be in a good spot to run away with the lead of this thing. All right, 118.7. .7 seconds off of Ralph now. It's about 9/10 that lap. We're in P11 right now. We need to get into the top 6 to get any points. I finished 6th in the first race. I think it's going to be quite the task to get back into the points today. But if I can somehow make it clean from here, you never know. The group of them in front of me is not too far ahead, but I think that's only up to 8th or so. 18.6 there. Let's hope the rain doesn't come back. That was awful. Oh, there's some squabbling going on up there. I don't know if they're passing lapped cars or if that's just a battle for position, but let's hope it's both. Ooh, stay off the wet there. Yellow flags. Not sure who that's for. Magnussen. Don't think that matters to me. Definitely pulling these guys in now. All right, here's 3 spots just directly in front of me, all battling. And Damon has gotten up the road a bit. But looks like a Williams is a bit slow in the Sauber. I guess that would be Herbert and Ralph. So I think it's Villeneuve, Herbert, and Ralph. And we'll try to plot this out. Need to make quick work of this, though. I've got hopes to get back into the points. Really close up on Ralph here. It's wet offline though. This is the tricky thing. How do you pass when it's wet offline? I could pit now. Be a little bit early. See if we can get around these guys quickly. Really close up into the first corner. I don't really have the straight line speed. This is going to be tricky. Oh, Ralph leaves the inside open there. Try to kick it up the inside. There we go. Ooh. He helped me out with that one. He was, I think, looking around Herbert. Let's see if we can stay in front of him down the straight. Come on, little guy. That was a 19.5. That was a good lap. Where'd he go? Wow, he fell off. Oh, that wasn't gonna work. It's not good. I got a little too adventurous there, going offline. Bad first stint, man. All that giving up. Was trying it. I mean, I've got some speed now, but I'm so far back now because of the spins and the general pace. Yeah, it almost worked. Well, long ways to go yet. You never know. But P2 to P11 in stint 1 is not what I was hoping for today. We'll go a couple more laps here though, and I think we'll pit. Some fresh tires, and we'll see how the cycle goes in the pits and all that. I have a feeling we'll be going a lap down sooner rather than later. Almost spun it. Yeah, it might rain again too, which would be the icing on the cake, huh? The sky does seem to be clouding up a little bit here. We got one of the Tyrrells in front. So somehow, despite all that, I'm going to lap a car. Only got 4 laps of fuel left, so I'm going to be pitting pretty soon. Ah, that's sketchy. Just wait for the crew to call me in. See everybody up there still battling. Pulling Ralph back in, and he's with Herbert here now, so. But I think we'll pit before I would be able to get to him. Maybe we'll get around him in the stop. I'm shocked we haven't seen like Schumacher come in. He must be babying those inters he had on at the start. Missed the first corner there quite heavily. All right, we're pitting this lap. I don't think the tires fade in this game as they wear out. I think that's in GP2. Wow, there's a whole string of cars up there. mean, it's good if they're close together, they're going to hold each other up. But it's also good that they're all close together, meaning if I catch one of them, I can catch all of them. But we're going to pit this lap, put some more slicks on it, or dry weather tires. I guess they're not slicks. Put some another 20 laps of fuel in it, 25 laps of fuel or so, and then hopefully I can have a much better second stint here. All right. Guided to the pit lane. There's the crew. Wait on the fuel there. Ah, terrible first stint, but you never know what could happen from here. There's still 2/3 of the race to go. I'm hoping other folks start pitting. Let's try not to spin out in the pit lane here. There's the leader. I think that's Coulthard, so we're a lap down for now. Sitting in 13th place after the pits. Car's a bit heavier now. You can definitely feel it. All right, Damon's in the pits, so Damon's on a 2-stopper as well. Got blue flags. It's hacking in behind me. Hope they pit. Whoa, it does actually look like Coulthard's going in. Oh, that was Hakkinen. So Hakkinen is in the lead. Somehow he got around Coulthard and everything, despite the. I thought Coulthard was further up the grid on the start. I think Damon was the car in front of me. Says he's 34 seconds up the road, but that was through the stop. We'll get a better gap this lap. I don't see him though. And I will let Coulthard behind me by, but he's gonna have to get a little closer than this. There's Eddie Irvine then in the pits. Hopefully he just pits here for a second. Oh, there he goes. Just like clockwork, coming into the pits. That will help me out. I don't have to slow down for him. We'll see the gap here to Hill. Or it's Olivier Panis in front. Ten seconds. A lot of cars still to pit and stuff. Yeah, it does look like the sky's clearing up. I've got on the original sky. One of the things a lot of the add-on tracks have are more detailed skies, but they're not animated like the original one is, which I think is really cool. So I've got it on the default skies. It's one of the reasons I'm using the default tracks as well. But the clouds actually, if you sit there and watch them, they'll actually form and dissipate and everything. Like it's a Microsoft Flight Simulator or something like that. I think that's so cool for a game from 2002 to have actual dynamic clouds like that. You also see kind of fog build up when it starts to rain and things. It's very immersive. It's simple, but it does the job. Fisichella pit, yep, I see a couple cars in the pits. A lot of cars doing the two-stop with me then, although they ran a couple laps longer than I did. Let's hope there's no rain at the end. That would be ideal, because I was rubbish in the wet. All right, we got the Tyrrell in front here. Tried to sneak up the outside like I did earlier on Herbert, but that didn't work then. It was definitely not going to work this time. Lose a bunch of time here. It's just wet offline. He lets me by on the inside, but lost a whole bunch of time there behind the Tyrrell. Is that Takagi or Rossett? Well, Rossett's in the pits then. There's a chance of more rain later. It doesn't mean it's actually happening. Have we seen Michael Schumacher come in the pits yet? He started on Inters. The whole track's starting to dry out now, so I can finally run like normal lines. I do love how the track dries out in this game, though. I mean, it's so advanced for its time. It might look a little silly in spots these days with how it kind of appears and disappears and stuff, but it's really, really impressive. Even if it's frustrating. Wow, I can't believe I lost so much through the pit cycle. Down here is like the only wet spot still on the track. All right, 17.9. I'm into the 17s. That's good. There's been a low number of failures so far in this race. Seeing only a couple cars out. There's still 19 cars running. Nowhere near what we were getting at Melbourne, and I'll tell you now, I haven't changed anything about the performance settings on the cars and stuff. It's the exact same as we ran in Melbourne, so it's showing you how different races can be. That was close. Would love to get around Panis here quickly. Sliding it into the corner. Can't believe I'm battling with a Prost legitimately. Feels slow. This is like the only spot I have an advantage, but it's not an easy place to pass. So try the long way again. Whew, did it. All right, back to 11th. And no sign of the cars in front. We got a slow Minardi in front of me here now. A little bit wide there. Come on. Try to send it into the corner there. Well, there's no way this car is hitting 320 because I don't have enough horsepower to do that. And when we were in practice earlier, I was hitting the top of the rev range. So I think it's just the more fuel and maybe the conditions or whatever. Maybe the race horsepower is a little bit lower. The car can fluctuate randomly. It can have a little bit more, a little bit less horsepower in a session. As well as grip. All right, get around that Minardi there. Yeah, we'll have to see if I'm faster than Hill. I didn't catch what the gap was last time by, but we'll look at it this time. It was a 19.3, not a great lap. All right, I'm 9.3 seconds behind Hill. Well, if it was 8 seconds last time, then I'm losing a lot of time. I did have to pass the Minardi that lap, but see him up there. Get this Tyrrell. So slow. Almost looped it there. Something tells me we're not going to win today. Oh my god. I don't think I got any damage from that somehow, but something tells me that Tyrrell's retiring. A lot of time there, but we got clear track for once here. Hacking and doing 116s just to rub it in my face. Did gain on Hill that time. Almost a second as well. There he is. Oh my god, is there just non-stop Tyrrells? It's another one. This must be Rossett now. Alright, Johnny Herbert's in the pits. We might just get him. It's a bit close. I suppose if cars are one-stopping, they're going to be doing it right now. So Herbert, the ultra-long run from the start of the race. Yeah, and I'm up to 10th, so. Almost went in the grass there. Very uncomfortable passing around the outside. Seems to be the only spot I'm quicker. Fredson's in the pits as well now. Tires feel fine now. We're already halfway through our stint. I've been really using them. Yeah, I'm like holding station with Hill. In one lap I'm a little quicker, one lap he's a little quicker, but there's no clear advantage. still almost 10 seconds up the road. Whoa, yellow flags. Whoa! One of the arrows has beached it. I think that was Salo. I get excited when I'm seeing a yellow flag because it might be for me, but I'm not so lucky. Or not for me, but you get what I'm saying. Quite sunny now. Let's lock it up on the left front there. Come on. Laps in a row, he's sitting there, just contemplating his life's choices. Well, we're sitting P9 right now. It's a little bit on strategy, though. There was a couple one-stoppers who pit, and I got around Herbert, and there was one other one, which means we're only 3 positions out of the points, but I don't see any of those positions in front of me. Damon Hill's the closest car to me in front, and he's just pulled out another half a second on me that lap. Not looking good. Yeah, everything is much more reliable as well. I did a test race, and half of the field DNF'd. Whoa! Oh, there's Mika. Mika Salo, that is. Yeah, I was expecting maybe a few more DNFs in this, and I mean, hopefully not us, but we're gonna need a bit of a miracle at this point to get anything from this race, but we'll keep on pushing. You never know. Okay, the Michael finally pits from 4th position, going all this distance on intermediate tires. What a run. All right, the crew's finally pushing that car off. Ralph's in the pits. All right, I'll definitely get Ralph here for a minute. So Ralph was on a one-stopper as well. That's wild. I mean, their pit stops are going to be quite long, but I'm not sure I'll come out ahead after the stop unless I'm able to really gain on them right now. There's Michael. See him up the road. Up to 8th, though. Get around Ralph. All right, Villeneuve is in the pits. Damon Hill hasn't pit yet? I thought he pit. There's Villeneuve coming out of the pits. Oh, we got a yellow flag here. Car stopped on the right. I think it's... Oh, that was a Sauber. That was Herbert. I think. I don't think I got a position for that, though, so... All right, we got the Williams in front of me here. I got to get around these guys if I can. I feel like I'm a little bit faster, but he just came out of the pits. His tires might settle in here in a lap or so. Was it a Prost? Oh, that was my teammate going for an exhibition there. Expedition is the word I was looking for in the grass. That gets me into 7th. Fisichella, 2 for 2, not going to finish. Oh, no. That's a shame, because he was our best hope at getting some points, although that puts me into 7th. And I got 2 positions directly in front of me here. Now, both of these guys just pit and are not going to be pitting again. I do have to pit again, so unless I get around them and then pull away quite a ways, it's going to be a tough one. But all we need is one more position naturally, and you never know. All right, we got the Minardi here. Thought he was going to let me up the inside for a moment. That's for my teammate, all the yellow flags there. He's beached it up on the, or parked it up near the wall on the left. Got a lot of traffic here happening. Is this Irvine or is it Schumacher? I was assuming it was Schumacher, but you know, you might be right that it is Irvine. Oh! Villeneuve gets caught up behind the Tyrrell. I'm going to go with him. There's nothing I could have done to get around him there, but I got a little bit of a run here as we head down the straight. Up to 6th gear. He's blocking. Oh, come on, Villeneuve. Jacques. Take him anyway. That was pretty dirty. Pick a lane. All right, that gets me at least temporarily into the points, which, you know what? Even if it's temporary, we're moving forward. That's what counts. Got a slow Stewart here. That guy is really asking for it, just standing right on the curbing. All right, Jacques is back there. I'm gonna block him. Ah, he's so fast. Hold it up the inside there. That could go the long way around. See, Jacques, this is how you defend a line. Whoa, wheel to wheel. Got really close there. You don't want to touch the wheels. You will go flying. Get around the Stewart there. Thought I was going to be able to take the Ferrari here for a second. We only got about 4 laps of fuel left. That's why it feels so good right now. Just going to be a little too far back to get around this Minardi here. Maybe not. God. Well, that leaves Irvine to run away from me. I think through all that, we're catching Hill a little bit. Yeah, I did almost hit that Benardi. If you remember in Melbourne, we had a little bit of a crash like that with somebody. All right, the crew's going to be calling me in just a few laps here. We're getting down to it. We're going to be quite a ways, obviously, behind Jacques here once we pit, so feels nice to be in the points right now, but it's a little too good to be true. Already? Should I stay out another lap? I might do another lap. Is that smart? Disobey the crew. I've got light fuel right now. It's less fuel we'll have to put in it when I stop. I'll try to do one more here. Alright, we'll definitely pit next one, because in case something funny happens, I want to have at least one lap of extra fuel. Don't want to run out here. Alright, Coulthard's pitting. And I actually see a... Alright, yes we will. See a McLaren right behind me. This lap is going to be quicker than the lap I'm going to do coming out of the pits. I think the undercut when you're on a two-stopper is not working. I can adjust my pit windows in the future. I might put that two-stop a little bit longer. We'll have to see though. All right, gonna come pit here. All right, make it through the second set. I mean, the second stint went a lot better than the first one, can't lie. But it's still not been great. All right, away we go. To get to the end of the race, we got 22 laps to go. It's gonna be kind of a quick run here. I maybe could have actually taken a liter or two out of it. Come on. It's the game controlling me here. You're kind of fighting it the whole way out of the pit lane. All right, back to P10. So this is where we get to work from. We'll see who's in front of me. It's a Minardi right now, but that's definitely a lapped car. I see a couple more cars up the road. Not sure if they're... That might be Panis. Or Panis. Fisichella. Wow, finally. Took a long time. So So suspension failure for Giancarlo, my teammate. And a long ways around the Minardi there. All right, Hill's in the pits. I knew he was on a two-stopper. I didn't let you all sway me. Whoa, Häkkinen's out of the race with an accident. Are we going to see that somewhere? All right, that's a free position for me. We'll hope Häkkinen's okay. It's all happening now as we come to the end of the second stint. That's a huge development. Race 1 winner of our championship is out. I think the whole field can breathe a sigh of relief there. There comes Hill out of the pits ahead. I'm definitely closer than I was last stint. He's just in front of the Tyrrell. He didn't get stuck behind him, unfortunately for me. Yeah, Mika crashed. I don't see him anywhere, though. So we might have to go look after the race, and we should be able to watch the replay, I'm hoping. So note down anything you might want to see after the race. We'll watch my terrible start. All right, this car going in the pits here. I'm up to 9th now because of the, I think that's Mika. Tuero's in the pits. That's who it was. I was hoping it was a Prost. But I am definitely pulling in Damon Hill in front, so we're going to have to battle Hill again, just like in Melbourne. But it's for 8th position this time instead of 6th. But I think there's another, I think Herbert might be directly in front of him. So that would be 2 spots. That would be 7th. Still got to do the work to get there, though. I think that's a Williams in front of him. Is that Frentzen or Villeneuve? Well, this could be, these 3 cars here could be the run to the points. And I feel like I'm pulling them in. Cross your fingers there's no rain at the end of this thing. That would be bad for me, I think. Benetton team here clearly have to do some testing in the wet. Definitely a little bit faster, but not much. It's going to be hard to pass him. 17.9. All right, this is Hill in front of me here. spot there. Just trying to carry the speed. This is the only part of the track I'm a little bit faster. I'd like to say maybe we have a wet setup on the car, but clearly that wasn't the case. All right, Hill has caught up here to Herbert, so this is the battle for 7th, and then one of the Williams is right up the road from us here. I think it's Villeneuve. All right, they're battling a little bit. We'll have Axelson join the fray. Whoa, Hill goes up the inside, battling down. Herbert fades to block him, but it's going to get hung out. It's going to open the door for me. Herbert blocks the inside there. All right, bud. See if we can do the old outside line here. That's not easy. It's not really possible on these cars that are faster than me. Or as fast as me. Wow, I'm right on him. Might get a little bit of a slipstream here. I'm trying to let it ring out in the gears. Yeah, there's either a little bit too much wing or the gear ratio could be another notch lower. Whoa, we'll dive on it. There he goes. That was a late lunge, but got around Herbert. All right, we're in 8th. Looking at 7th with Hill in front, and then we're both trying to catch up to the Williams there, and that is the point. We should both have newer tires than whoever that is. I think the Williams are on a one-stop. I think I'm a little faster than Hill. Really chuck it in there. Whoa, right up behind Hill. Did I give him a little tap? He's just quicker in a straight line, makes it so hard to pass. But I think we got to spend more time in the setup shop. We're still both pulling in the Williams here, so this is going to become a 3-car battle unless I can get around Hill here quite quickly. Oh, around the outside. It's a bit silly. It works though. Hill cooperating there, sees Axelson just do him dirty. All right. Definitely quicker than this Williams. We'll see if Hill's going to come back at me here. Big lockup coming into turn 1. We're using every bit of tire that Bridgestone have given us here. closing up all the curbs now. This is Frentzen. Brakes so late there. Right, right with him. We've lost Hill somehow. So I can just focus on battling with Frentzen here. Come on, don't spin the car now. Might have a shot at it down to the corner here, but I think he's just going to have that straight line speed. This is awful. We need to figure this out, team. Ooh, don't stutter on me there. Right with him. It's a risky one up the inside there. I don't think I would even do that. Oh my God, I almost nailed him. Parks it on the apex. All right, Frentzen, you asked for it. I'm just not close enough. Try to get around the outside of him here. Go up the inside. Oh, there we go. The Hill's going to take him as well. That was a little bit better of an overtake spot. A little more believable. Royce doesn't get back into the points. We got a ways to go, though. Got to get to the end of the race. Got another 13 laps, 12 laps or so. Yeah, he didn't give me the brake check there. See if we can run away from these three behind me. And what the heck is the gap like to fifth in front? I don't know who it is. Ralph. It's 13.8. Let's just see what happens. I got to gain over a second a lap, though, to have a shot at it. Coulthard is out of the race, both McLarens. All right, that'll be fifth. There's yellow flags here. Wow, so both McLarens DNF in Brazil. So 17.6, doing good laps. Good laps for me anyway. I gained 2/10 on Ralph that lap. Right. We're in fifth. I'm not sure if I'm on the lead lap or not. I think I'm a lap down. Can't imagine I'm on the lead lap. The first stint was so bad. I think we might have to hope for any more attrition from the top four. But I'm just going to close this one out. Oh, what a difficult race thus far. The start was so hard with the mixed conditions. I gotta see if there's any way to be better in that. Because if we get other races like that this season, you're effectively throwing away the first half of the race while you wait for the track to dry. I could have done a little bit better, not spinning off, obviously. I never spun off, actually. I just looped it a couple times. But maybe I could be fighting for that fourth position if I hadn't done that. But otherwise, it just felt kind of useless. Maybe it would have been better to start at intermediate tires, but I don't think I would have been able to do the Schumacher and make it to halfway on those or whatever he's doing. Oh, I gained 2 seconds on Ralph that lap. Don't give me hope now, because I'll push. I don't know if we need to be pushing for the rest of the race. Yeah, these races, Ted Meat made a great video about how you should always go with it. He had a race at Manicourt, I believe, where off the line he spun into the wall literally from his grid stall and broke the wing, and then proceeded to have an amazing race after it. And you just never know what you're going to get. And unlike maybe some other games, Grand Prix 4 almost always pays off if you stick with it. That's why we're doing this. It's a lot of fun, even if the races don't go perfect. I'm still having a lot of fun, even though this has been hard. It's been a really hard one. It was frustrating for the first bit. But it'll make the days, if there ever comes a day where I get a win or something, it'll make it that much more worth it, that much more exciting. For now, we're concentrating on just getting points. If we finish in 5th, we'll get 2 points, so we'll be on 3 points for the season, which, you know, you could be doing a lot better, but you could also be doing a lot worse than that. My teammate does not have any points yet. Yeah, I think I was even a little bit more frustrated with the start of this race because I qualified so well. Get on the front row, and then if the race had been dry like this at the very start, or had just been wet the entire time, you know, maybe I could have done something with a start like that, but maybe for you all too, it wouldn't have been as interesting of a race. All right. Yeah, 11 seconds behind Ralph. I'm closing him in, but he's just a little too far up the road to catch naturally. So we'll stick with it, and you never know. We've got about 8 laps to go or so. It also doesn't seem that impressive to get to, you know, 1 point, 2 points here or there, but as soon as you get a good result, let's say we get a 2nd place or a win or something, those 2-3 points become 2-3 points on top of a 10-point or not a 6-point result. It really helps bolster those numbers. So on their own, the 5th and 6th place finishes don't do much, but if you add a couple good ones to it, they really help strengthen your season. All right, we're catching a Minardi. This is probably the biggest threat to me getting to the end here, is just passing some of these lapped cars. Been challenging all day. Gosh, even the Minardi's quicker than me in a straight line. We must be a bit down on horsepower. I don't want to pull back the curtain too much, but this game does have a random element to it for the player's car, in addition to all the AI as well. But my grip and my engine horsepower are not always the same. They, from race to race, session to session, they actually vary a bit. You could think it's like I got a worse set of tires during the race, or maybe the engine was going sour slightly if it's not as good, or maybe sometimes you get an even better engine or better tires than usual. But that's in all reality, probably the reason why I'm not hitting my top speed today is because my horsepower is just not quite as good as it could be. So we'll RP that the team maybe gave me the B-spec engine has been favoring Fisichella, but maybe with these results they'll change their tune and start supporting old Royce a bit more. So I think he's doing a pretty swell job. Yeah, you set for each team the horsepower that car has, and then you set an amount it could vary. So if you say, this car has 700 horsepower and it could vary by 50, something like that. So it's the same for by team, but it we maybe got a worse engine because I've definitely hit the top end of 6th gear with this setup before. I suppose there's no real way of knowing what kind of engine I have until we get into the race. I could turn that off, but then it makes it a little less interesting for the AI and stuff. I'm using 50 as an example. I don't remember exactly what I have it set to. Yes, Flavio wasn't at Benetton. I saw that in the comments from the last stream as well. I didn't realize that. It's weird because you remember him being there during the Schumacher years, and then he was obviously there during the Renault and Alonso years, so I just assumed he stayed in the middle as well. We're at an exact equidistant gap from Ralph in front of me and Frentzen behind. We're on lap 69 here. It's a 72 lap race, but I think I'm a lap down, so we should only have to do 71. I think this race got shortened to 71 laps in the following years. All right, we got two back markers here squabbling. Oh, punch a waterfall, thank you. Subscribe for lap 69 announcement in the race. Well, there's not that many races that will get that many laps. I guess the attrition caught up to this race, but it's been an interesting one. We'll come and start. I think this is the final lap for me. We're up behind one of the Stewarts here. I guess it's Barrichello. We gained a lot on Schumacher there. I'm only 8 seconds back now. Might be stuck up on another car too, but... So we can just follow Rubinho home here. Not having the race he was hoping for, I'm sure, in his home Grand Prix, but at least he'll get to the end. Look how fat that Stewart is. It's so chonky in the rear. I feel like a few of the cars, 98 was kind of an ugly duckling kind of year for some of them. All right, come through. Final real corner here. I am shocked that I've been able to get points out of this today. Very frustrating first half of the race. So challenging. Made some mistakes, but persevered. Come across the line here. Pretty sure this is the end. I'm on the lead lap somehow. Okay, we'll do one more. I guess I unlapped myself because of the McLaren's retiring. So, whoa, there's a car stopped on the left there. Not for points, though. Just get her around here. Oh, Panis is out with a loose wheel. On the final lap of the race. I thought I was a lap down. We had the blue flags at a couple points, but... crew would be kind enough to let me know how many laps to go there were, that would be nice, but Eddie Irvine wins the race. What? I did not see that coming. How did Eddie get into the lead? All right, we'll come through the real final corner then. I suppose it's quite obvious when the finish happens. We'll get 5th position though. Wow, Eddie.
We're in the points.
We are in the points, aren't we? And it's raining. You can't probably see it on the stream, but there's water coming down. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so happy to get to the end of that. Rock Trout, thank you. Royce and Ryan are filling the Richie-shaped hole in my heart. Well, hopefully Richie will appear here soon again, and we don't have to simulate the real thing anymore. I appreciate that, though. Wow. Yeah, it's just starting to come down some rain. Barely, but it would be, I bet the track will start getting wet. There it is. Eddie Irvine. Brother. Let's get a little bit of jazz on here. How about... Eddie Irvine gets the win. I'm going to fill out my little point sheet as we look at it here, just so that I can then show you all the points. I cannot believe Eddie Irvine gets the win ahead of Jacques Villeneuve. Wow, Villeneuve in second, Michael Schumacher in third. This is really going to turn up the points. Ralph Schumacher in fourth. Where is Ralph on my list? Royce, I get 5th position, and then who do we have in 6th here? Heinz-Harald Frentzen, that's right, who we passed. Nahux, thank you so much, and welcome. All right, so I'll have the points here in a second we can take a look at. Things are getting spicy. I just saw it quickly. Let's look at the full results here real quick, though. But Eddie Irvine gets the win. Had Jacques Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher in third, Ralf Schumacher in fourth. And then Royce Axelson, our Benetton driver, started second, fell back to, what were we, 12th at some point? Did I spell Villeneuve wrong? I'll fix it. Thanks for pointing it out, though. Heinz-Harald Frentzen finishes in 6th, gets the final point. But yeah, I think I fell to 12th at some point. Got it back up to into the points in 5th place. I'm happy with that. A little bit of attrition helped me out. I think we probably would have finished 7th or 8th had that not. Both McLarens fell out of the race. But Damon Hill finishes in 7th, and then Johnny Herbert, the last car in the lead lap, finishes in 8th. Rubens Barrichello, who we followed to the finish there, was just 1 lap down in 9th, ahead of Olivier Penes in 10th. Toru Takagi back in 11th with Shinji Nakano, and Esteban Tuero is the final car. Both Minardi's finished, and only 13 finishers. We did end up having that attrition that we were talking about. But David Coulthard with an engine. Mika Hakkinen had a crash. We'll see if we can find that. Ricardo Rosset with transmission failures. Giancarlo Fisichella with suspension. My teammate, we saw him off to the left there. Jarno Trulli with a puncture. Mika Salo with a throttle problem, whatever that means. Jan Magnussen with a water leak. And we had 2 transmission failures for Jean Alesi and Pedro De La Rosa to round out the race, I guess you'd call it. Now, this should have worked this time. All right, before we excuse me, before we look at the little replay, I think I've got some replay this time. Haha. Let me pull up, though, the points. After 2 rounds, we have a 3-way tie. 3-way tie for the win. Or for the lead, not the win. The lead of the championship. Michael Schumacher's been the most consistent thus far, finishing in 2nd in the first round and then coming away with 3rd place. So 2 podiums for Michael. The Michael gets him 10 points. He's in the lead. I guess he would win. Oh, no, the other 2 have... I don't know how this would work. But Eddie Irvine with the 10 points for the win here has him in 2nd. And then Mika Hakkinen with 10 points from the first win. So we got 3-way 10 points. Of course, it's only the 2nd race of the season, but couldn't be closer. Jacques Villeneuve, which I'll fix the spelling in a bit here, is in 4th position. Heinz-Harald Frentzen is tied for 5th with Ralf Schumacher. And then I am tied for 7th with Johnny Herbert on my 3 points. But 3 points can easily become 6 or something if we just have 1 4th place finish. And yeah, I guess Eddie and Mika are really tied for 1st. I don't have it that... I'll have to doctor this up if it gets down to it. But looking at the manufacturer standings, Ferrari are leading the way with 20 points from Michael's 2 podiums and then Irvine's win here. So having a great start to the season is Ferrari. Williams is in 2nd with 11 points ahead of McLaren, who probably should be in the lead on pace, but you got to get the points to do it. Jordan, then, having both cars finish both races has helped them, even though they didn't get points for it at Melbourne, not Adelaide. But they got 5 points, and then we're tied for 5th with Sauber. Benetton is all running on old Royce's points this season. So, wow, pretty exciting championship stuff thus far. Now, we're not going to watch the whole race back, but I'd like to watch maybe the start, and then we'll see if we can spot what happened to Mika. And then if any of you have any specific moments, I can try to find them. It's tough to find stuff in this, though. Yeah, this is like... how do you do this? How do I... I've done this before. Oh, I don't have the very beginning of the race. That's unfortunate. Here's me getting passed by my teammate. Dang. I have most of the race, but yeah, we're missing quite a few laps. This is as far back as I can go, unfortunately. Ah, Well, we're not going to be able to see. I don't remember when I spun and stuff. But let's find, yeah, we'll see what happened to Mika. This is him. How am I going to find this? Do I have to just fast forward till we get to him spinning like 100 laps into the race? Suspicious loss of footage, yeah. Is there any way, does anybody know if there's a way to speed it up a bit more? Well, I guess, well, he wasn't in the end of the race, so... Yeah, I think I have the max replay duration set to 90 minutes, which I think is as far as it goes, so... Make a lap 51. I don't know. I just don't know how to get to lap 51. F2 skip forward a lot. Oh, that was too much. Hold on. How do I rewind a little bit here? This is me failing at knowing how to use the controls here in the replay. I can't speed up to the end of the race because Mika's not in it anymore. I think F8 is the fastest I can go forward. There's gotta be a way to do this. It must be the TV producer's first day. Kind of feels it. Yeah, F2 though, it's bringing me to like the very end of the race. Also, it just locked up, so I think that's gonna be it. I wish I could figure out what happened to Mika. It just crashed though. Sometimes the game crashes in replay mode. Well, that's an anticlimactic end. One day we'll get the replays figured out for this. But we have the race results and everything, thank God. And, yeah, able to at least know that the race happened. Oh, God. Whole GP4 just being a peach. All right. What a race. Next up on this one is the Argentine Grand Prix. And I think that one's going to be a little bit interesting. Argentina is an interesting track in this game. It's a third-party track, obviously, and so yeah, it's just it's a bit smaller than it should be. Is the main defining quality. Insert key toggles between TV director and my inputs. I'll see if I can find what happened to him, and I can post it on my Discord or something. But yeah, we should be headed to Buenos Aires next. I got to do a little more testing on that one to make sure it works correctly for everything. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know this is quite late for quite a lot of folks that watch this stuff. So if you did watch it later, I also very much appreciate that. And yeah, I'll be back with this sometime soon. Maybe not next Thursday. Maybe go back to GP2 and start the 1991 season. Or maybe I'll do something else. I don't know yet. But until then, thank you for watching. That was a really tough race today, and I'm so happy I got to the end. What a tricky one. I think this season's going to be so hard for the whole thing, but I'm excited to see how it goes together. So until next time, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see y'all later.